What's up, guys? Glock Guy 226 here, and tonight I kind of want to go over my perspective on being a concealed carry permit holder and kind of some advice I have for guys that are coming on to, thinking about getting their permit, even if you're new to it, or heck, even if you've been around a little bit, you might learn something. And I mean, I learn stuff every day about being a concealed carry permit holder. There's a lot of videos I watch. There's people I talk to, run into, that I learn a lot about it. So, let's get started with that. Now, the biggest thing, in my opinion, is mindset. More important than gear, more important than what gun you have, is your mindset. Now, when you want to get your concealed carry permit, or if you do have it, you need to realize why you have it. You have that permit so you can carry a gun on you and protect yourself as well as your family. And, if harm comes your way, yes, you can use that gun, but you better be able to justify using that weapon, especially if you have to shoot somebody. Just because this guy hollered at your girlfriend or wife, or maybe even your husband, if you're a female watching, yeah, that pisses me off too, but that doesn't mean we can pull our gun on them, guys. It doesn't mean we can shoot them. I mean, let's be realistic here. Us as concealed carry permit holders, we need to be pretty good citizens. I mean, we get a bad rap, us gun guys do, and to be honest, they're some of the best people I've ever met in my life. Some of the most generous guys, some of the kindest people I've met are, like-minded individuals like us. So, when you get your permit, or, you have it already, mindset is huge. You need to be aware of your surroundings at all times. You need to be watching out for stuff, but you also need to realize that even, just if someone comes up and pushes you, say you're in a bad situation, unless you're honestly scared for your life, you don't need to be pulling your gun out. So, if someone runs up and hits you and takes off running, or you get into a small little scuffle, that probably doesn't mean you could shoot the guy. If someone is trying to, pull a weapon on you or something, yeah, you probably are going to draw your gun. It doesn't mean shoot him, but, you just need to be able to justify these situations, guys, and that's where training really comes into play. Everybody that has their carry permit, I think, should go through some sort of training. Now, a lot of states do have mandatory classes where, you have to shoot at least 500 rounds through your gun, some number like that. And that's a great thing. And it's not a defensive class. That's more of a, we're going to show you how to work your gun, kind of get you comfortable with, carrying your gun. And that's better than nothing. There's some states that have absolutely nothing. The state I live in, you can be 18 years old and get your carry permit. Now, I'm all for every single gun right there is, guys, but that's probably not the smartest thing, and that's something they need to be able to decide for themselves. Now, I know some 18-year-olds that do have their permit and they're responsible people, that's great, but I know when I was 18, I wasn't mentally ready to have my, concealed carry permit, guys. Let's just be honest, when you first turn 21, and you're going out to bars and you're dating different girls and, not all of us are ready at that age to carry a gun. I know, honestly, you are, you're an adult legally, but I really didn't grow up per se till I was about 22 or 23 years old, guys. I'm 28 now. I've had my permit for about a year and a half, and like I said, I'm learning new stuff every day. But I kind of feel like, at such a young age like that, it's probably not the best idea. Some of you guys may be able to pull it off, and if you can, that's wonderful. That's awesome. You're a good citizen and a responsible adult at that age, but most, you almost want to call them kids, aren't prepared for that, guys. I mean, you have to be mentally prepared for, if you do shoot somebody, dealing with that. Or if you're getting a confrontation, you're probably going to go, to the big house for a little bit with the cops. You're definitely going for a ride, at least till they can figure out what happened and what the heck's going on. So, those kind of stress levels, you really need to be prepared for that. It's not just get your permit, throw a gun on, and everything's great. You're Mr. Macho. That's not the mindset we want, guys. We want to avoid confrontation at all costs. I mean, if a situation does pop off and you're in a Walmart or a restaurant, wherever, the best thing you can do is get out of there, get yourself to safety, get your family to safety, and then if you got time, try to help other people out. But you want to avoid all that stuff, guys. I carry a gun to protect myself, but also, I choose to avoid confrontations. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that pisses me off. Guys yelling stuff at your girl, or people cutting you off on the freeway, whatever it may be that makes us all mad, that's still not a reason to pull a gun on somebody. So mindset is a really, really big thing we all really need to think about, and that evolves daily. So as you are a concealed carry permit holder, if you do plan on getting your permit, these are things you really need to think about. After all that's out of the way, which that's really the serious, side of it to me, you want to think about, maybe you have a gun already you plan on carrying, or maybe you're looking into, what should I carry? There's a million guns out there anymore, and there's a lot of really good guns and a lot of good guns for good prices anymore. So, you want to think, maybe you're a revolver guy and you want to carry this, little 5-shot. This is just a little 5-shot 38 Smith & Wesson. My wife prefers revolvers and she prefers this gun, and I like revolvers, but as far as a carry gun, as a primary carry, I don't agree with that. But she doesn't have her permit yet. She's going to be getting it here within the next month or so. And if this is what she chooses to carry, I'm absolutely fine with that. If this is what she's comfortable with, it's better than nothing, guys. Just for me, I'm not a big fan of this being my primary gun. They are dead nuts reliable. They're accurate, good stopping power. Just honestly, a lot of guys say, hey, I carry a revolver. If it's, those semi-autos are always breaking, and this is the world's most reliable gun, and they are reliable. But if this sucker goes down, it's not just a matter of clearing a stovepipe or, sticking another magazine in. It's if this gets locked up, trigger mechanism or spring breaks, that cylinder locks up, you might as well throw this in the trash, guys. I like carrying this gun as a backup. I carry it on an ankle holster, or I'm right-handed. I carry my primary gun about 4 o'clock. I might carry this weak side on the inside pocket of a jacket as a backup, and to me, that's what I like to do. Now, what you choose to do is completely up to you, but revolvers, snub nose revolvers are a really good size. They're lightweight, so if this is something you'd like to look into, do some research on it, and maybe it's for you. But personally, I prefer semi-autos, and we'll go ahead and clear this. This is my Glock 43, and I'm not going to go into everything that's done to it. I have other videos for that. It'd be awesome if you go check those out if you haven't seen them. But this is just, comes from Glock Factory. It's just a 6+1 round 9mm single stack. Very slim gun, very small in size. I carry this about 4 o'clock. And this is the gun I have on me most of the time, guys. I'm allowed to carry at work, so I carry this at work. Very concealable, very slim and lightweight. I can still move around. I can still get in attics and crawl spaces. I work in the maintenance field, so I'm always laying down somewhere or crawling up something. Or, and this gun's small enough where it's out of the way. I also like it because it is so small I can conceal it in just about anything. If it's summer and I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, I can wear this and no one knows the difference, guys. And that's the main goal for me, is a concealed carry. Now, I'm allowed to open carry in my state, but I choose not to. Maybe you want to open carry, and that's great if you do. I just feel like it draws a lot of attention. Whether it's good attention or negative attention, I don't think either of it's good. So I like to conceal carry where I'm the only person that knows I have it. My wife might know, or, if I'm with, say, my parents or my in-laws or a family member, they may know that I carry a gun, but it's not something I openly talk about to people. Hey, I have this gun, or I pull it out. That's not a smart thing to do, guys. So, but, yeah, you might want a smaller semi-auto gun like this, and that's great. But I honestly recommend, if you are going to carry, if you're new to getting your carry permit, this is a Glock 19, which it is clear, as you can see there. Start off with a mid-sized gun. If you start off with a small gun like that, and then later on you want to upgrade to a bigger gun like this, a double-stack mid-sized gun, or even a full-size gun, it tends to be way more uncomfortable than it would have been if you started off with a mid-size and then went down to a smaller gun at times. Now, I see this a lot. Guys get their carry permit. They buy X, Y, or Z gun, and they wear it for a day or two. They might buy a $20 Phobos or Walmart holster. They wear it for a day or two, and they say, oh, that thing's uncomfortable. And then they start leaving it at home. They start saying, I'm just running to the store. We'll only be gone for a couple hours. I'll just, I don't need it. When have I ever had to have it? And honestly, as a concealed carry permit holder, guys, that's not why we got it. There's not a day that goes by that I don't have my gun with me. I mean, I might take it off in certain situations, places I'm not allowed to carry it, and I do abide by all laws. But from the time I wake up, from the time I go to bed, that gun is on my hip. And then when I am in bed, that gun is in my nightstand. So there's not a time that I'm without it. And yes, my wife doesn't have her permit, but when she's at home, she is always she's not very far from a loaded gun, and she does know how to use it. Now, when she gets her permit, she's going to go shooting with me more. I go shooting a couple times a month at least, especially with my carry gun. And I think if you do have your permit, you really do need to put some rounds through that gun. It can get expensive. You know, you want to run those self-defense rounds that you're using to make sure they're reliable in your gun. You don't want to just shoot one magazine of them and say, yep, everything's good to go. And I know it can be expensive, guys. I'm not rich. I'm also on a budget. But these are just things that you really should do. So, but yeah, as far as gun selection, guys, there's so many guns out there. And there's a lot of guns out there that are, you know, for a really good price anymore. So, but I'd recommend going with a mid-size gun. And, you know, later on, if you want to get a smaller, slimmer package, you know, alternate between the two. I like to have options of what I could carry for certain situations. I've been meaning to get a little pocket-sized gun, so, you know, if I just need to throw something small in the pocket, even if it is just a little 25, a 32, you know, or a 22 caliber, it's better than nothing, so. But that's my opinion on guns. Now, something that's just as important as the gun to me is having a quality holster. This is just, you know, Kydex anymore, guys. It all looks the same for the most part. Most of them have, you know, either soft loops or these belt clips or ulti clips or, you know, whatever. They pretty much look the same, guys, but don't skimp out and buy a $20 eBay holster. Go, you know, don't go to Walmart and buy an Uncle Mike's or something. It really does affect your carry system. I've been there. I've done that with the cheap holsters, guys, and I have a tote full of holsters that I can't do nothing with. Yeah, you might have paid $30 for it, but you go to a gun show and you might get offered $5 if you're lucky. So that kind of stuff, you know, it just sits back, and, you know, if I take the kids out shooting at the range or something, they strap it on so they could shoot their little 22 or whatever, and, you know, they get a kick out of it. But buy a quality holster. Everything from as far as the bushings they use to what screws they use to the clip they use to the thickness of Kydex, how much time they spent in making this holster really affects the comfort of it. Now, I could throw my Glock 19 on, and from having a quality holster, you know, most of the time I don't even realize it's there. And this is a Patriot concealment holster, guys. They make really good stuff. PatriotConcealment.com. I think they're on Instagram also. So go check them out. I think I paid about $60 for this holster, and it's been well worth it. Now, as far as my Glock 43 holster, it's not the best holster in the world. I had a buddy I know that I'm kind of just getting into Kydex, playing with it. He pressed it for me. It does have good retention. It does have a positive lock. That's stuff you want to look for when you get a holster. I've seen people order holsters off eBay that get them and their gun falls straight out of them, or, you know, they have to tighten the screws every 2 or 3 days, and you don't want something like that, guys. Just spend the money, get something decent, buy once, cry once. You know, as far as guns go, gear goes, all that stuff, just buy decent stuff at least. You don't have to buy a $150, you know, Incog holster, or you don't have to go buy a $1,000 pistol to carry with you, but don't buy junk, guys. So we went over, you know, choice of gun, make sure you buy a quality holster, and something that's just as important as the holster to me, and for a long time of my, you know, concealed carry career so far, as you could say, I always had a mediocre belt, just a typical, what did I carry? I think I like Fox. If you haven't seen, I wear a lot of Fox stuff. I had a Fox brand belt, which I think it was about a $35, $40 belt. It's a good belt, but as far as a gun belt, not so much. More fashionable than anything, but this is just a $20 511 belt, guys. Basic plastic clip. It is pretty sturdy. It's not the best, but this was $20 at Gander Mountain, and you can find them on Amazon even cheaper. It's flat dark earth or reversible to black, and it's not a bad belt. Even me going from my cheaper, or not cheaper per se, but my, you know, more fashionable belt to a gun belt, that was a huge step up. But after having that, I decided, you know, I'm going to try an SOE belt. I hear so much good stuff about them. Special operations equipment, made in the USA. Very, very good stuff. But you don't have to go with SOE. That's what I recommend. But, you know, stepping up to that 511 belt was about $20. This is about a $70 belt, guys. And most of that's because of the Cobra buckle here. But besides that, as you can see, I can hold this belt up, and there's no slop in it whatsoever. I can throw my gun on here even without it being on my pants, and it doesn't flex or fold. It's not quite a duty belt. I mean, it's designed just like a duty belt that a cop would wear, or you wear in a 3-gun competition or something, but it's cut down to 1.5 inches, guys. So this fits on, you know, all my work jeans, all my nicer jeans, And with this rock solid belt like this, what it does is when it's on your waist, it holds that gun up straight and flush to your body. When you have a cheaper belt that's nice and flimsy, you strap a heavy, couple pound gun to it, and it's going to pull it down, which, makes you print more. It doesn't make for a comfortable situation. So, if you first get your permit, you got your gun, your holster, and you strap it on, and it's not very, it's not going to be comfortable right off the bat, even if you buy all this quality stuff. But with cheaper stuff, it makes for an even less, it doesn't make for a good experience, guys. And I don't know how much I could stress that, because when I first got my permit, I watched videos and kind of seen all this information, but really didn't buy into it until I actually tried it for myself and seen how much it did improve. And now I'm on the mission of where, like, I like my holster setups, but I know there's better holsters out there, and it's hard to spend $50 to $70 buying multiple holsters, guys. But, it just depends how important this is to you. And for me, I take my self-defense very seriously. I am a huge gun enthusiast. I like everything about it. I like collecting stuff, knives, gear. I love it all, don't get me wrong. And there's a lot of stuff I buy that I probably didn't need it, but I like it. So, I am going to buy a new Glock 43 holster here the next few weeks. I'm kind of looking at different companies right now, deciding who I want to go with. But all that stuff makes a huge difference in your carry system, guys. So this is stuff you really need to look into. Make sure you do that, if you get your permit. Step up one thing at a time. And like I said, you don't have to go buy the $70 belt. Go buy, the $20 belt, or even cheaper on Amazon until, and that'll show you that, it does help to buy better gear. And you don't have to buy the $80 or $100 holster. Go get, a $45, $50 holster from a reputable company, and it does make huge improvements, guys. So what we've been over mindset, which is, the most important thing that I think. Mindset, training, gear. What else do I got here? I made a little list over here. A lot of stuff to touch base on. And then, another thing that, when you get your permit, guys, like I think I touched on this a little bit, but I carry my gun 95% of the time. The only time it's not on my body is when I'm sleeping or in the shower, and it is within arm's reach. So, when I see guys that get their permit and they buy decent rig, decent pistol, belt, all that gear, and then they decide, I don't really need to carry it, To me, that's kind of dumb, when we get our permit, it's not like we take an oath or anything, but we take a responsibility that, we are well-rounded, good-minded citizens that are willing to protect ourselves and other people if it came down to it. Now, you don't want to get involved in anything, you don't have to, but, you almost take responsibility, so, if you're a concealed carry permit holder, you know what I'm talking about. Not necessarily saying everybody should be a sheepdog and be the hero. If there's an active shooter situation, you better run over, get yourself involved, and stop that guy, which, if you're backed into a corner, do what you got to do. But, you shouldn't go out looking for trouble. But, well, guys, we could talk about this all night long, in my opinion. I really like this topic. So if you have another video relating to this, please leave a link below. Or if you want to make a VR to this, a video response, please do that. That'd be awesome. And please go check out my other videos. If there's anything you guys want to see me make a video about, if there's something I have that you want to know more about or me do a video on, please let me know. And please like and subscribe. Go over to Instagram and check me out at GlockGuy226. I try to put new pictures of gear, knives, guns, ammo, magazines, everything related to what we like. I try to put new pictures up daily, so please go check me out, guys, and thank you very much for watching. Put some comments down below in the box, and thanks for watching.